I know y'all used to me sitting down in my living room. Listen, but this topic was so juicy. It happened over the weekend. I'm sure a lot of you were most likely tuned in and watched all of the parts, all 50 parts. I watched it. Well, I found out about it yesterday, and I started watching it, and then I finished today. And one thing I like about TikTok is everybody's going to let you know, like, hey, here's this person from the story, or this is where you can find this person. So I found, wait a minute, I didn't even tell you guys, I'm talking to y'all like y'all know what I'm talking about. But I'm sure a lot of you do. So if you don't know, if you have not been on TikTok, I am talking about Miss Reesa Teesa and what she calls Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So that series was fucking crazy. Okay, it was fucking crazy. And I just want to point out that the ex-husband, damn, he had to be from Philly. That's fucking crazy. But typical Philly niggas, okay? But that's neither here or there. All right, I don't want this video to be like that, you know, being so I am from Philly. But shout out to Miss Reesa Teesa, the way she explained in great detail all of the episodes. Like, I felt like by the time I finished all 50 episodes, well, parts, I didn't have any questions for her. When she went live, right, I couldn't figure out, like, why the fuck is people asking her all these damn questions, when if you watched all 50 parts, she answered everything. And when I say in great detail, and if the 10 minutes TikTok gives you to record, if she exhausts all that time, in the next video she was giving you a slight recap of where she left off. Like, I'm talking about that detail. Netflix, Hulu, Tyler, she in Atlanta, Tyler Perry, you need to reach out to her, okay? Reach out to that lady, because this is a great storyline. The unfortunate thing is that it's real. Like, it actually did happen to her. So I definitely feel for her, because ladies, at this big old age, I feel like we have all experienced, it might not have been the same exact thing that she and the ex-wives, I'm sorry, it's because it was more than one ex-wife, experienced. I'm sure, ladies, everybody done went through something, whether you want to admit it or not. So we not going to sit here. I don't like the women that be like, oh, that could never be me. If you notice, and I forget what episode of my podcast I talked about that. Like, you know, don't sit there, because she had enough, I'm sure she had to build up a lot of strength and courage to be able to come on TikTok and tell us that story in great detail. And I want to point out, it was during her birthday time. We all know how I feel about my birthday, okay? I don't even play about my birthday. So the fact that she wanted to simply spread awareness, and I think she did just that. But I don't think that she really thought it through. You know, just simply thinking for her audience, not, you know, TikTok is all over the world. And then when you get other users, well, I don't know, other TikTokers, let me not, you know, too much with y'all, the way y'all, I don't know what y'all call yourselves, I'm just gonna say TikTokers, they can grab that. And the fact that whoever filmed the fucking ex-husband, I want to point that out from the stories that she told, because she was very careful. She never used his name, his real name. She gave him a nickname. She gave everybody in the story nicknames besides the realtors, which was the first Scott and Amber. But oh wait, and I just found out, so this is gonna be like a spoiler, but for some people, but I mean, y'all, it was really that good. I'll try my best not to spoil it for y'all, but it was really good. And I you know, damn, like, I hate to look at it that way, like, you know, it was really good, it was so juicy, but it's her real fucking life. Like, I just want to say, Miss Reesa Teesa, girl, I appreciate you coming out, spreading awareness for the next woman. You know, like, listen, keep your eyes open, 3D glasses on, make sure if you see this motherfucker coming, please. Like, I think, you know, what she did was a good thing. It's some pros and cons to it, of course. Like, I still want to know, though, who the fuck found the ex-husband? Like, Facebook pages, like, he's on there now, he's speaking out, and he's trying to lie. But one thing about it, TikTok, y'all did your research, so y'all done found the fucking son. I'm sorry, let me back up. Y'all found the first wife son, which was one of the step children that Legion kept saying, oh, you know, I'm really, really close to my stepkids, and you know, I still have a good relationship with them or whatever. So they found the real son, and they found the real ex-wife, the first one, not the second one that Risa mentions in throughout the storyline. Not the second one, because the second wife, we don't know her name, but Risa did have a conversation with her. Now we do know the first wife name is Latoya, and let me tell y'all, Latoya, she has a show. I'm going to tune into it tonight. Latoya has a show, and she has TikTok, y'all, and I found it, and I'll pin it for y'all. I'll let y'all know. I'm not a gatekeeper. Listen, we can all be in this together, okay, and chat. So she came on, and she basically was like, yeah, she confirmed everything that Miss Risa Tisa said. So we have Risa Tisa, we have Miss N Zori, which is the first ex-wife, aka Latoya, and then we also have, I think his name is Deshaun, Latoya's son, because remember, she has a son and a daughter. Yeah, they all came on and confirmed Miss Risa Tisa's story. And one thing that I do love is that they was like, you know, we're so sorry, Risa Tisa, that you had to go through this, that you had to experience this. One thing that the son said, I think his name was Deshaun, he said that his mom went through that with Legion for 5 years. That is a very long fucking time. That's crazy. Now, one thing I do know is what Deshaun said. He said, well, you know, at one point, pretty much Legion, they didn't take him serious, and he became the big. And he also paid all of the bills. So I was like, okay. Now I see why Latoya stayed with his ass, because just like Risa said, she's miss him, look at me stuttering, miss him paying them fucking bills. So, okay. I see why Latoya stayed. I wouldn't have stayed for no 5 fucking years, though. But one thing I like what Latoya, aka Miss Nzuri, said, she said that she didn't love herself during that time. And again, ladies, let's not sit here and make it seem like you ain't never really go through some shit with a nigga. I don't want to say that. With a guy before, okay? So let's not sit here and like, oh no, you know, I couldn't have, because I just found myself doing that. So I don't want to do that. But it's a lot to take in. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's very crazy. But I want to go back to that. So I love the fact that Miss Nzuri, aka Latoya, and her son was just like, you know, we're sorry, Miss Risa, that you had to go through that, that you had to experience that. And so wait, another thing is, Miss Latoya, aka Miss Nzuri, she said at the end of her video that she put up on TikTok, she gave up another name. So she said, basically, I'm sorry, Miss Risa, that you had to go through it. And Vivian, she said Vivian. So I'm assuming Vivian is the second ex-wife who Risa Tisa spoke to on the phone and was answering all of her questions. And I want to point out, Miss Latoya, you know, she's very pretty. She's very pretty. Miss Risa Tisa, pretty, you know, so he know how to choose them. He do. It's just, woo. And another thing I want to point out is, I like the fact that Ms. Risa Tisa, she kept it all the way real throughout all 50 parts. And she was just saying, even if it makes me look crazy, dumb, whatever you want to call me, I'm going to keep it real. So I love the fact that she did that too, because we all know how social media is. People won't come on here and cap and make something seem like, oh, but you know, I was the bigger person, or I got over, and it don't be like that. It don't be like that. You take your L, but she took her fucking L. I love the fact that she acknowledged everything. She would like stop and make little comments to herself, like, you know, I was crazy for going through that shit. Like, I was crazy as shit. So I definitely love that. Oh my goodness. A juicy ass story, okay? But shout out to Miss Risa Tisa. Listen, I'm praying for you. I hope you find your king, okay? I love the fact that Miss Latoya and Miss Nzuri, she said that she found her king. She moved on. Like, I feel like she was giving Risa some hope. Like, I know you in this space like 3 years later, and you just feel like she got to go to therapy and all of that. But the first ex-wife was basically saying, you know, you'll make it through. You'll make it out of this. You'll make it out of this. And I hope you do find love, true real love, and you're king. Like, you know, I love the fact that she still gave her hope. Oh, whew. Yo, it's a lot, but we have to talk about this some more, okay? Because I feel like it's gonna, after we tune into Miss Nzuri's, the aka first wife, aka Latoya, after we tune into her show tonight, we're gonna come back on the Tall Woman's Perspective podcast, and we're gonna chat some more. That's what we're gonna do. We gotta check back in. This is just crazy. You know, the plot just keeps thickening, and it's a lot. Yes, it is entertainment. Yes, some of, you know, like when you sit back on certain stories and experiences you might have went through, you can, after you get through the hardest part, you can sit back and laugh. Like, that was some crazy ass shit to go through. So it is entertaining, but it's her real life. You know what I'm saying? And I just like the fact that she decided to spread awareness. But I really do hope that she takes some time for herself to just regroup, and because I know that social media stuff is like, woo, I can't imagine how many messages and what they call it, stitches on TikTok. You know, everybody's just, woo. I can only imagine. But yeah, so this was a quick, I know we didn't have a full episode this week, but listen, this, I couldn't wait. Y'all see, like I said, I'm in the car, okay? I'm in the car, I'm driving. But I had to come on here to tell y'all that. So make sure y'all tune into a Tall Woman's Perspective podcast. Make sure y'all go tap into all of the other episodes. This will also be up there. And we're going to meet back here, a Tall Woman's Perspective podcast, and we're going to discuss the second part of Surviving Legion. Oh, I think that's what this is going to be called. I think that's what this little episode was going to be called, Surviving Legion.